Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to deconstruct exactly how a century-old brand built an absolute global empire. We'll unpack the inner workings of a total household name, look at the actual nuts and bolts of its success, and then explore whether its foundational strategies can actually survive in our modern digital era. So let's dive right into this. How in the world does a simple skin cream created way back in 1911 still hold a massive chunk of the global market share across 150 countries today? It's a really fascinating question, right? Because in an industry that is completely obsessed with the newest trend, the latest miracle ingredient, and flashy packaging, this totally unassuming product just quietly commands the shelves. It honestly defies the normal life cycle of consumer goods. To really understand this, we have to rewind and look at the brand's timeline. It all kicks off with the founding of Beiersdorf in 1882 by a pharmacist named Paul Beiersdorf. But the real magic, that happened in 1911. Working with a chemist and a dermatologist, they developed a revolutionary water and oil emulsion using a special emulsifying agent. They named this snow white cream NIVEA, which actually comes from the Latin word for snow white. Then, jumping to 1959, they introduced that iconic, completely unmistakable blue box with the crisp white lettering. Fast forward again to 1998, and they pulled off a massive product expansion with their anti-wrinkle Q10 launch, which pretty much instantly became a global bestseller. So they haven't just survived all this time, they've methodically evolved. Here is our game plan for today. 1. The Blue Tin Empire. 2. The 4Ps marketing mix. 3. NIVEA's winning strategy. 4. Evaluating the brand. And finally, 5. The 2026 Digital Challenge. All right, part 1. The Blue Tin Empire. Let's establish the sheer scale of this operation. You see, NIVEA isn't just a basic cream. It is a massive global machine owned by Beiersdorf. We're talking about a brand whose products are sold in a staggering 150 countries. There's probably a ton of it somewhere in your house right now. And this isn't just riding on legacy momentum either. They employ over 150 dermatological researchers, pharmacists, and chemists who are constantly innovating. They've built up this huge product line covering everything from baby care and lip balm to men's grooming and mature skin solutions. They deliberately designed their product range to serve literally all generations, basically making it the go-to brand for the entire family. Moving on to part 2, the 4Ps marketing mix. This is the academic engine driving all of that success. If you've ever taken a business class, you probably know the 4Ps. It's a theoretical framework used by management to make sure every single aspect of a product's market entry is perfectly balanced to meet what consumers actually want. Originally popularized in the 1960s, it's basically a tool to help understand what a product offers and how to plan a successful rollout. The real beauty of the 4Ps, product, price, place, and promotion, is that it takes a totally chaotic, unpredictable consumer market and distills it down into controllable variables. Think of it like the ultimate cheat code for carving out a clear, competitive position. So these 4Ps break down into distinct, controllable variables. This allows a brand to deliberately influence buyer responses across every single category. Look at product, for instance. It's not just the cream itself, it's the quality, the branding, the packaging, the whole design. Price encompasses your strategy. Are you using penetration pricing to grab market share or maybe cost plus pricing? Place dictates whether you're selling in high-end retail boutiques, through wholesale channels, or purely on the internet. And finally, promotion covers your advertising, endorsements, special offers, the whole shebang. As a marketing manager, these are the exact dials you're turning to find the perfect resonance with your target audience. Okay, part 3, NIVEA's winning strategy. Let's look at how they actually applied these theories. They honestly position themselves perfectly. For their product, they cultivated an image of being genuine, environmentally friendly, and fundamentally family friendly. For price, they went with a more for the same approach. This meant offering high quality products at an incredibly reasonable, affordable price. For place, their distribution strategy is just aggressive ubiquity. They are literally everywhere, from high status pharmacies right down to massive discount supermarkets. And for promotion, they focused on super consistent emotional message, smiling faces, human togetherness, and universal family values. They weren't just selling a moisturizer. They were selling a feeling of familiar care. The really crucial point here is the contrast. NIVEA deliberately prices itself competitively against heavyweights like Dove and Johnson & Johnson. They are executing this brilliant tightrope walk. They want to be seen as the economical choice for a family, sure, but they maintain an image of high quality without ever looking cheap. By keeping their pricing right in the middle, not completely exorbitant, but not suspiciously low either, they reinforce the trust that caring parents place in them to provide safe, good quality products for their families. Let's hit part 4, evaluating the brand. Did this master plan actually work in the real world? Well, the survey data proves their pricing strategy worked flawlessly. When a 2014 survey asked consumers how they categorize NIVEA's pricing, a massive 86% of people accurately perceived NIVEA as an average-priced, affordable brand. Only 9% saw it as low price and just 5% as high. This is absolute proof that their more for the same strategy was internalized by the market exactly as Beiersdorf intended. They hit the absolute sweet spot of consumer perception. And their aggressive distribution strategy also totally validated here. The survey shows that 86% of buyers purchase their NIVEA products highly conveniently in supermarkets, compared to just 14% in special stores. This proves that their place strategy, making the product practically unavoidable during routine grocery runs, is the primary driver of their sales volume. Because let's be real, nobody wants to make a special trip just for moisturizer. They completely removed all friction from the buying process. But hey, no strategy is entirely bulletproof, right? A quick SWOT analysis, looking at strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, reveals a fascinating dichotomy. A massive strength is their immense global brand recall. I mean, they are a top-of-mind brand in over 50 countries. But a major weakness? Many consumers view the classic NIVEA cream strictly as a thick, heavy, oily winter product. Because of its rich consistency, a lot of people just stop buying it in the summer months, and that severely restricts the seasonal sales of their flagship item. Which brings us to our final section, Part 5, the 2026 Digital Challenge. So here we are looking toward 2026, and despite its historical dominance and the brilliant execution of its classic 4Ps, NIVEA is facing unprecedented and mounting strategic pressures. The market has transformed dramatically. The very foundation of what consumers value in their skincare is quite literally shifting beneath their feet. There's this whole new wave of digital native indie brands rapidly capturing younger audiences. And these new competitors, they aren't relying on massive supermarket shelf space. They are winning on our mobile screens. They prioritize extreme ingredient transparency, bold clinical efficacy claims, and native social media messaging that legacy brands inherently struggle to match. While NIVEA built its empire on a broad message of family togetherness, today's younger consumer is demanding highly specific sustainability messaging and exact proven scientific results. It's just a completely different battlefield now. Which leaves us with this final, really critical thought. Can the traditional marketing mix that built this century-old empire adapt fast enough to survive the digital native reality of today? Are universal family values and a famous blue tin going to be enough when the modern consumer is demanding clinical transparency and direct-to-consumer engagement? NIVEA certainly has the history, but history alone won't secure the shelves of tomorrow. Look at the legacy brands in your own home. Which ones do you think will survive the shift?